Okay, so I'm back to talk about my first interaction with Shiksha. I'm Natalie, if you don't remember. So she started off, we met at Starbucks in Wells. It took a while for us to meet up because of our busy college lives and shoulder injuries. So what's interesting about Shiksha is she actually finished high school in Michigan. So she's really good with comparing the culture and the culture of education. She tends to pull that back into the conversation. Okay, so where she went to school in India was in Kolkata, which is actually one of the bigger towns. And so the system may be different in smaller towns in India. And she was actually really good at telling me that. And it was like a disclaimer. Okay, so where she's from, almost everyone goes to private school in India unless they are extremely poor. And this is because of the quality of education and just so much better in private school. This shocked me because I always went to public school, growing up, and I guess I still go to public school, and I feel this is a personal opinion, but I feel like I got a better education than those who went to private schools around me. And obviously that's a very big difference in our culture. When she was 4 years old, she had to do an interview with the school to see if she'd be a right fit. So the school system that's the best is the Delhi Public Schools, or DPS, and it's a very esteemed school and has various campuses across the country. So it's not just secluded to one place. And what was really interesting, their school week is different. It runs from Monday to Saturday, with half days on Saturday, and most kids stay until 4 because of extracurriculars. Everyone wears a uniform and everyone takes the bus. She said, even when people are seniors, no one drives to school. They all take the bus, no matter what grade they're in. So she said the highest worry for them were exams. I feel like this is very similar to high school in America, but definitely, as she got into more detail, not to the same extent at all. So they take these board exams, and they're more difficult than any exam she has ever taken in America. She said that she took an exam in 5th grade that is harder than any college exam she's ever taken. I thought that was crazy. The highest score is at 60%. So the most important board exams are the 12th grade board exams because this determines your entire career. Okay, so the example she gave me, which was really good. So let's say you want to be an engineer. You would take the engineering test. If you score in the top 5%, you get to choose what kind of engineer you want to be. If you get an 80%, you can be anything except computer science. And below that, you can be anything except for computer science and electrical. And that goes on. This really shocked me because I thought the ACT was terrible. I thought it was the worst thing I've ever done. And this is even higher stakes than that. People also worry about leadership in competitions. She says that the kids play dirty in class elections. I thought that was wild. I don't know, where I'm from, people don't play dirty in class elections. That's just not how it works. One quote that really, stuck out to me, she said, they want you to be an inhumane superhero and do everything and anything and get a gazillion trophies. I thought this was wild because, she didn't even finish high school there, and she already felt this way about it. And, I felt, a lot of pressure, but, to call it an inhumane superhero, I feel like I would never call it that. That's just a lot for me. And then the third thing she said that caused them the most stress was parental expectations. She said that Indian parents have, really, really high expectations and want their kids to have a good career. And she said that most Indian parents struggled in their life and they want better for their children. I feel like this is, a universal thing, that parents want better for their children. They want them to have a better life. Each generation should move forward. I feel like that is a very big similarity. I feel like the things that stressed us out the most, that caused us the most worry, were very similar, but the extent was just very different. For happiness, she said friendship. She said people go to school with the same people from 2nd grade to 12th grade. And she said both friendships in America and in India are amazing, but there's just a deeper connection in India. She said there's events, festivals, and parties hosted by the school, for all the big holidays, and they just love them, and they would have so much fun. I thought this was crazy because, the events hosted by my high school were, terrible, and the fun part was when, we were not there, the pictures and the food and the after party, nothing was fun about the actual event. And she said also that was really important were, the teachers. and people would complain about them, but you get the same teacher multiple times and you get close with them and you form a bond. And I felt like that, I really connected with that because, like, I have bonds with a lot of my high school teachers, and I feel like that's universal. Like, you get close with the people who are teaching you. And she said, so for studying for the board exam, she said they start in 9th grade, and as you get closer, there is, like, no going out after school or on the weekends, and they give up social media, and you sit at your desk and you don't move unless it's for food, and some days a shower. She said some days. That's wild. Even the students who don't do that well on the exams study really hard. And you just can't mess around with it because the boards determine everything. I thought, this is going on for a while, I'm sorry. I was just really passionate about it. I thought our conversation was really important. I feel like we really connected with each other. It was easy to talk to her, and it felt like she was passionate about it and really wanted to talk to someone about it and talk it out. I liked hearing what she had to say, and it felt like we connected on most things. Like, I did not find a very big disagreements with her. There was not a disconnect. It feel like a lot of what's going on in India and the culture of education is the same as it is here, but it's just heightened in India. And some conclusions I can make about education and culture, I feel like it's hard to make a conclusion, but it seems like it varies from culture to culture. I feel like no one could ever write a textbook about the right way about culture and education with one view, because it could never be completely correct. The differences are important, and they should not be glazed over. I just think it would be wild if, like, everyone came together and, like, in the whole world and took the best of all the cultures of education and made one, like, incredible education system. I feel like it's not possible, but it sounds cool, and this was a really good interaction, and I'm really excited to get to know Shiksha some more as we go on.